guys, I'm just here with a quick Erin Condren Life Planner video. When I first shared my planner back in, I think it was September, I did 3 videos where I basically, the first video was a walkthrough of the empty planner or mostly empty planner and just showed the details of how it's set up and that sort of thing. So if you want to have more information on what this planner is like and how to order it and all that sort of thing, I'll leave the link for that video in the information section for this video. I will also leave my referral link in the information section in case you are interested in ordering your own Erin Condren Life Planner. If you use my referral link, you will get a $10 coupon, and so will I, so that's kind of helpful for both of us. So if you'd like to go ahead and use that link, I'll leave it there in the information section. And when I made those videos, so the first one was just a walkthrough of the planner. I think the second one was showing you how I'm using it, and then the third one was showing you some of my favorite products to use with it and how I store my products. And so it's December now and I've been using it for a number of months. I did go through a phase of not using it and my life promptly fell apart, so that was good learning that I do actually need to use it. And so yeah, I've been using it for quite some time now, and I have sort of changed a little bit of the way that I use it. So I thought I would share, and I did say at the beginning that I would do a little update after I got used to using it and had a good sense of how it works for me. So the first thing that I've really changed is that I barely decorate at all. In fact, I just have this sticker here and this sticker here, and I just put them on today, and I don't normally even put little stickers at all. And I also, just because I was doing it today, I put these little icon stickers here too. And again, I don't normally do that. I usually just use it for pretty utilitarian reasons. I don't decorate very much at all. It's fun to decorate, and when I have time, like I did today, I like to decorate it a little tiny bit, but I mostly just use it to plan my life, so I don't really have a chance to decorate it all that much with all the other crafty things I do. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is how I have continued to, washi tape my work days, and I really love that. So these are my work days right here on this week. That's pretty full. So this is this week. Today's Thursday, so I do keep my little freckled fawn arrow clip right on today's day. So I'll just kind of move this here tomorrow. And I just kind of move it along the week with me, and it gives me a good way to visualize really quickly where I'm at in the week. And what I do is I put some washi tape down the days that I work the full day. So 2 days of the week I work morning, day, and night, and then 1 day of the week I work just the morning and the day. And so I try to choose a washi tape that coordinates with the month's color scheme. So this month is green and blue for December, so I just chose a blue washi tape there, and this is what it looks like on a less busy, well, this week might not be less busy, it's just I haven't filled it in yet. So that's what that looks like. And then I don't work over the Christmas holidays, so there's nothing on those 2 weeks, and then I'm back to work here, and that just gives me a good sense of how my weeks are going to go and what days I have to do what. And then I switched for February because the color scheme was pink, so I used pink skinny washi tape for that day. And then because March is green, I use this really neon green washi tape. It's really shiny, and it's also the thicker kind, like it's the standard thickness. I usually like to use a thinner washi tape to mask off my work days, because if it's thinner, it leaves me enough room. I do put my appointments in here. Because of confidentiality, I don't put anybody's names, but I like to put what appointments I have so that I can easily kind of glance at the day and know if I have time to do any errands. And also it gives me a sense of what my pay is going to be like if I have what appointments I worked in there. So I do prefer the thin washi tape, but I just love this washi tape so much, and this month was such a fun color scheme with the lime green and the turquoise blue that I just wanted to use that for just that month. So I did go ahead and use the thicker washi tape. And then for April, I used this Dear Lizzie washi tape, which is one of my very favorite washi tapes. I used it into May as well because it seemed to coordinate with May. And then on June, I switched to this other striped washi tape. And I only went as far as June because I suspect my new planner will come sometime in June or July, depending on when I order it. So I didn't want to go too far. So I am probably never going to use this part of my planner at all because my new one will come and I'll just transfer everything to the new one. So that's what I do with my work hours. The next thing that and that hasn't changed from when I did my first walkthrough of how I'm using my planner. The second thing that I've changed, back in my other video, let me see if I can just find one of the weeks that I was doing that on. Like back when I did my first review, I had these stickers that I had bought on Etsy, and they had all of the chores that I do on a weekly basis, and then room for more for you to write down. And so I had ordered those, and I think I put the link, or I talked about it in the other video. I can't remember who I ordered them from, but the information is in one of my first 3 videos if you're looking for it. Anyhow, over time, I've decided not to order more of those once they ran out, because I wasn't doing it exactly that way every time, and I thought I didn't really want to invest in something that I could easily create myself. So I decided to just kind of, for this week, for example, I just hand wrote the tasks that I have to do, and then for the subsequent months, what I did today was I actually stamped out my tasks. So I'll show you this up a little bit more closely. So I have a stamp by Studio L2E, and it's called List It. And I just use this stamp for this month. I mean, I might use these ones other months, but for this chunk of time, I use these cute little banner checkmark boxes, and then I use some of these words here for some of the tasks. I wish that they had plants, water plants as a task, or just the word plants, but they don't. So laundry, bathroom, and cat and plant watering are the 4 things that I have to do every single week. I mean, I do more than that, but those are the things that I really need to be reminded to do. And I do, like, my husband is a stay-at-home dad, so I probably don't do as much housework as some women do, just because he does all the meal planning, and he gets the groceries, and he does the floors, and he does a lot of that kind of stuff, and he does all of the kids' laundry. So all that I have to do when I do the laundry, I just do the towels and I do my own laundry. So it's not like a really big deal. That's why I sometimes forget it, because sometimes when you have less to do, you're actually more likely to forget it. So anyhow, so I did stamp these out, and when I stamped, I used these Prima chalk inks, and chalk inks are really nice because they don't go through the paper. So I'll just show you the back side of that piece of paper. There isn't any ghosting at all. Like you can't see it. Doesn't bleed through, and you can't even really see it. So that's a nice thing. I mean, if you held it up to the light, then you might be able to see through it, but you can't normally see through it. So that's why I like to use these Prima chalk inks. They dry really fast too, a lot faster than pigment inks dry. So I just stamped out my words using that, and as I said, I did use these Studio L2E stamp sets, and the ones that I have I have the List It stamp set, and it comes with, I'll just get the little piece of paper so that you can see through it. It comes with all these checkmark boxes. These lines are a little bit too long for the Erin Condren planner. I think they might be made more for the Filofax, but what I would do if I were to use these lines is I would just mask off this part, like the edge part here, and then stamp it inside of my boxes. This fits beautifully, this little square fits beautifully inside of one of these. So if you wanted to emphasize something or put a picture, like draw a doodly picture, or, you know, as I said, just really emphasize something, this frame is really nice size for that. The frame also fits quite nicely inside of one of the daily boxes too. So that, sorry, I know I'm kind of too far. I'll try zooming in so that you can see a little bit better. So you can see that that frame fits quite nicely inside of this box, and it also fits quite nicely inside of the monthly boxes. right there. So also these little banners that come on it, they overhang the day a little bit, but it looks quite cute. So I think that those would look quite nice on one of the days to mark something special. And then these checkmark boxes, they fit perfectly. You can actually see right here that they fit perfectly where along the lines of these weekly goals and notes. So they fit absolutely perfectly, which is nice because you can just like stamp right on it and you don't have to worry about spacing them out. They do have these individual checkmark boxes too that you could use, and that's for if you had if you just wanted less or you just wanted to use one. Like I used one for today just to kind of check it out, but I had something, I didn't do a good job of the stamping because there was something on the other page. And what else did I want to say about these stamps? I got these stamps too. These are called Market. And the reason I got these is, I haven't used them yet, but I thought I might want to make some homemade lists. And I was thinking about using them right here, but they fit quite nicely inside of the boxes as well. So, and what I really just think they're really cool. They've got like a checkmark box. They have a checkmark box that are a number of different shapes, and some of them are just dots. And then a place to write your task. So I think that this would look cute all lined up together. And they've got them on different, so that you could do the checkmark boxes on the right-hand side or the checkmark boxes on the left-hand side for the stars and the circles and the hearts, and then the same with the dots, like the bullets. And then they also have just this, which looks a lot, this and this, they both look a lot like the Erin Condren event stickers. It's a little bit smaller, but it's kind of nice if you wanted to just kind of like duplicate. Since I'm using these stickers a lot, I like the idea of kind of being able to duplicate things. Sorry, that wasn't in screen. And then the other thing that I bought from Studio L2E as far as life planner stuff goes is this stamp set called Work Plans. And I'm not entirely sure why I bought this one, because I don't know if maybe I put the wrong thing in my cart or what, because I don't need these things for my work, and I don't really plan my work, as I mentioned, because of confidentiality. I just put like appointment, appointment, appointment. So it's kind of, I don't really need this. I don't clock in and out, and I don't really ever go to meetings, and I never do any of these things. So I don't know exactly why I bought these, but I think it might have been a mistake. But anyhow, what I did do, because I needed a cat item, because cat care is a weekly thing that I have to do. I check the cat's teeth and coat, and the big thing that I do is I check their nails, and every other week I clip them. But I have 3 cats, and so sometimes I can't do all 3 cats at once, so I check their nails every week just to see if anybody needs to be cut, because sometimes they get off their schedule. So I go ahead and put cat, and I would have put cat care if I had that as a phrase, but I just put cat, and I know what that means. And the way that I got cat was I cut it out of the word vacation. See how cat is neatly nested within that word? And so the tip that I have for cutting these phrases, if you need to cut them, especially if you're cutting not like 2 words apart, there's a big gap and it's easy to cut them, but if you're cutting individual letter groups out, is the tip that I have is to bend it like this before you cut it. So what I did was I figured out where the word CAT, where the letters CAT were, and then let me get my camera to focus properly, and then I just cut like that where I decided I needed to cut. So, and just bending it like that really makes it a lot easier to cut. So anyhow, I got a whole stamp set just for the word cat, apparently, but maybe, I don't know, maybe there'll be other phrases that I can use as they are or cut them out or something. So yeah, those are the stamps that I wanted to talk about. So the other thing that I did with stamps was I just made this shopping list. right here. And I just made it the same way as I made my task list. And so there's one of those shopping lists on every weekday page, right up until I did January, just because I know that the beginning of January is a busy time with the end of Christmas and going back to work and school and everything. So I decided that when I planned for December, I would plan both December and January. And I often will plan 1 or 2 months in advance. Just and what I did when I did my work washi is I did the whole planner as far as I think I'll use it. But other than the work washi, mostly I'm planning 1 or 2 months in advance. So that's my weekly task list. Then the other thing that I just wanted to mention that I've been doing lately is I switched so that I'm using these event stickers instead of washi. I was using a combination of event stickers and washi tape and writing right on the planner pages. And so what I've decided is that anything that requires us to go out or get ready for, I put on an Erin Condren event sticker. And so I did order a whole bunch of stickers. I ordered like 3 sets of them, I think, with my kids' names on them and Marcel's name as well. So that way, and also they're color coded so that because pink is Sophie's favorite color, everything, it says Sophie and it's pink. And then Marcel's is blue and Olivia's is yellow. And then I just write what it is that they're doing. I was going to order like Girl Guide stickers and Brownie stickers and Judo stickers and soccer stickers, and it just seemed like that would be way too complicated. So I just decided to put their names on it, and then I hand write what it is that we're doing, and that way they're a lot more versatile, and I don't have to go searching through tons of individualized stickers to find the one that I need. I can just grab a Marcel sticker and slap it on, whether it's his haircut or his judo or a dance that he's going to or whatever. So the event stickers are for mostly things that are outside of the house, but also things that are in the house that I have to plan or prepare for in a significant way. And so, for example, my friend was supposed to come over for a crop today, so that was on here because I was going to make sure that I had something good for lunch and that my room was cleaned up. And like here is a Scraptastic blog post that I have to do, and so that's something that I have to prepare for, so I put it on there so that I know that I need to do it. And the same with outings and soccer and that sort of thing. So then anything that doesn't take a significant amount of getting ready or actually leaving the house for, what I do is I just write it on the planner paper itself. The pen that I've been using lately is this Friction pen, which is a, who makes these Friction pen? Pilot does. So it's a Pilot Friction pen. It's black and it clicks like that with the little paper clip instead of with the back, because the back is the eraser part of it. And I know that there's some controversy or some questions about whether this pen will last very long because it is an erasable pen, and I don't really care. It's not like I do plan to keep my planner, and I have all my old planners from a long time ago, and I occasionally go through them, but I don't really care how legible it is. I don't know. I guess it would be nice if I could read it, but I love the I just love the ability to erase if I make a mistake or if I go too messy, and so I like it, and I'm using it for now. I might switch, but for the most part I use this pen. And then what I use when I'm writing on stickers or washi tape is I use this Sharpie Ultra Fine Point. So that's what I use. There is another pen that I like. Where is it? I will sometimes use this one, which marks almost exactly like this one, the Inkjoy, the Papermate Inkjoy. So I do like this one because it's a good dupe for this, but it's not erasable. And so it's one thing that I really don't like is when I'm writing along in one kind of pen and then I pick up a different kind of pen and you write and it looks very, very different. And so I like that these two are interchangeable. So that's what I like about those. And as you know, I use a whole bunch of different colored markers with my scrapbooking. I tend to keep my writing in my planner all in black, just because I've got so many colors going on. I've got my color-coded stickers, I've got my washi tape, I do some stamping in colors, and so I've just decided to stick with black for most of my writing. So the other thing that has changed in the way that I use my planner is, well, it hasn't really changed, but one thing that I just wanted to note is that when I do decorate, I decorate after the fact. So this is one exception. This day hasn't happened yet, but I put this little rabbit taking a picture sticker right there just because I had my stickers out, and I know that that's like Scott's doing some photography work that day, so it kind of is appropriate. But usually what I do is I decorate backwards, so as I get to the end of this week, I'll start putting stickers here and here and here, or not. To be honest, for the most part, I just leave it. I don't do a whole lot of decorating anymore because that's just kind of what works for me. I don't use this bottom part where you can put meal plans, exercise, daily to-dos, thoughts. You can use it for whatever you want, but I find that the morning, day, and night, and then the list down here on the side usually is enough for me. But for example, right here I just wrote a little note to myself. These are just things, more stickers that I need to order that I'm running out of, and so I just put a little note there. So it's good to have a bit of extra space just in case you need it, but I don't usually use it. I know a lot of people keep track of their meals there or their exercise and that sort of thing, and that's great. And I have used it for that sometimes, but I'm just not using it for that right now. So that's about all that I wanted to say about the weekly pages, but now I'll talk a little bit about the monthly pages. So in between each, in between the week pages are these month pages. So this is the one for December that I thought I would show you guys. I just wanted to show you what it looks like for the current month. So I usually mark off the days. I was a little enthusiastic and marked off today before it was over. So I thought maybe it was bad luck or something to have that line there before the day was over. So I erased it with just some whiteout stuff. What I do with my month pages is I mostly use them just for budgeting purposes. So I have my pays marked here and then another deposit that we get right here, just so that I can kind of keep track of when my pay is coming so that I can budget everything. And then in this little space here, I make a note of all of the things that I need to pay with my first pay and with my second pay. And I also will keep track of fitness on this. So this is really just finances and fitness. So obviously I haven't done any fitness yet this month, but it is only the 4th. So hopefully there will be some fitness stuff written down. All that I do is not just regular walking, I don't put my steps on this or anything, but if I do a set workout, like if I go for a walk where I'm going for a walk for exercise, or if I do a run on the treadmill, or if I do one of my beach body workout, then I'll put those down here, just the number, the time that I did it, and that's it. So I'm going to flip to January just because January doesn't have as much information in it, so it's easy for me to show you here. So this is what I do every month ahead of time before the month comes, and I'm just covering some personal information there. But I just put budget 1, and then these are all the things that I have to pay with my first pay, and then I have checkmark boxes here because I just log into my internet banking and I pay them all off and I tick, 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 tick. And then there's some that are direct deposit, so I just leave those unticked, but I do put a certain amount in that account just to make sure that, and I check that it's there, and then when the 15th comes, I'll put a check mark here when that payment goes through, and when the 25th comes, I'll put a check mark there when that payment goes through. So I'll write the amounts in on the day when I do these things, because I might make different, some of these are set and other ones are different each month, and so I'll just write them all down there. That's why I didn't want to show you the December page, because it has the numbers already written in. And then I do the same thing for my budget too. I just have all the things that I pay, and then that's kind of, I do exactly the same thing on the next week, on the next month. And then if I have anything extra, like if I think if my car needs to be maintenanced, or the month that I had to get winter tires for my car or whatever, I just put those sorts of expenses, I just list them down here so that I can know that they're coming up. So the other thing that's related to my monthly budget pages is I've made this budget tab, and I've made this budget page. Now, what I did, the way that I did this was I started using my planner in August, but it came with the pages for July. So I took out all the pages of July, and I was left with this last page of July that the other side was the first page of August. So I had this, and it was July. And then this, I forget what was on this. It was some other page. Oh, it was also July. So it was probably the beginning of July. So this was the beginning of July, and this was the end of July. And so I just took a piece of accounting ledger paper, and I cut it down to size, and I used my ATG. And I just pasted the ledger paper right over top of those two planner pages. And then I just used some letter stickers, and I spelled out the word budget, and I did sew over it, which means that you can see the sewing on the back side of this, but that's okay, I don't mind. I love this pattern, and I love this phrase, so I made sure that I left this. And as I mentioned before, I covered up this because I didn't like the saying that was on it. Anyhow, so what I did was I set up my budget right here so that these are all of the things that I have to pay. So the way that I set it up was I took my roller date stamp that you can change the letters on and make any phrase you want, and I put pay one, pay two, and then annual, and then I put the amount and the account and then when it's due. So some of these don't really have set, I always pay them before they're due, so it doesn't really matter when they're due, because I just pay them as soon as, like, when I get paid, I do all of my bills for that 2-week period, whether they're due or not. I just do them all at that point. So I just have sticky notes over here that cover the amount because it's personal information. But this is just a list of all of the things that I pay with my first, that bills that I pay with my first pay. And then I just, for my own interest, I put like the total amount that I need to pay every month, and then the amount that I need to make sure that I leave in the account where things come in and out of so that nothing gets overdrawn or anything. And then I do the same thing for pay two, and I have an amount that I have to make sure is left in the main account for these things that come out later on. And then these are the things that I just have to pay annually, and I just have the months written down so that I can remember when they're coming up. And so every time that I do my weekly pages, or sorry, my monthly pages, what I'm doing is I'm referring back to this every time. So I'll just kind of flip back and forth and write these out. And sometimes I just copy it from one month to the next month, which is, you know, fine too. But I like to kind of just keep going back to this so that I can just remember these numbers are kind of good to keep in mind and that sort of thing. And then I have Freud reminding me here, does this purchase move you towards your goals? Just because I wanted to try to not spend too much. And I'm not sure that that's something Freud would say, actually, but but it's helpful for me to have that there. So that's what I did. And I think that was all that I wanted to say about my planner. So that is the update. If you have any questions, just let me know. As I mentioned, if you want to purchase your own Erin Condren Life Planner, you can do so by following the link in the information section below. But I am going to be doing an Erin Condren giveaway very soon, so keep an eye out for that before you buy, because you might just win one. So take care, everybody, and have a really great scrappy week.